Hi everyone, welcome to my video today. I thought I'd do something different to my usual videos I post up on YouTube recently. So I've been thinking about this term living consciously. So I've seen it quite a lot in terms of kind of financial based means, in terms of being financially conscious of how you spend. But on reflection, I've kind of adapted this process within the past 2 years of my life. So I thought I'd just do this video in terms of how I use being living consciously, and also I suppose steps that you can take to live more consciously towards your life. So for me, in terms of, I only just realised that this term in terms of conscious spending from, I think it's from the book I Can Make You, How to Make You Rich or something like that. I will put the actual title of the book in the description. But and it talks about being more conscious of your spending. So it's not about, when you do a budget, it's not being really strict and I'm going to put this much in savings and the rest of it's going to go on paying debts and then finances, not have anything left over from your pay slip, basically, or paycheck. But actually, it's having like an allocated amount where you can use to whatever you like. So if you like spending, like say, £300 on a pair of shoes, or going on extravagant holidays, you can at least budget it within your finances, and you don't feel like you're supposed to be suffering. And that's, I think, a modern take on society's expectations. The fact that you're expected to have a set, I suppose, when you're budgeting or going on a diet, you have to be really strict. You can't have this and you can't have that. Well, actually, that's a really bad method of doing things because you're not going to sustain it and you're going to get really demoralized. So, I suppose reflecting on that term, I started, I suppose, living consciously about 2 years ago. This is when I started losing quite a lot of weight. So I went from about 15 stone to I'm about, say, 11 stone now, in terms of weight, and I'm a healthy weight BMI wise. So I'm about 5'9". But I say I lost loads of weight. Well, I lost it within about a year, so 4 stone within a year. But I did it through being conscious about what I eat. So I don't, even now, I'm very like, I will have, have a very healthy breakfast with like porridge, banana. I'd have like a soup or a salad for lunch, and then I'd have like a really hot main course, like a curry, or I'd have um, a cottage pie or something similar to that with snacks in between, some fruit. I'd have a decaf coffee, and I'd have a really nice little bit of cake, but a low fat cake. So, and then at the weekends, I treat myself to either fakeaways, popcorn, and fizzy drinks. So I make sure that I allocate myself being healthy, but at the same time, I make sure that I put in something that's a little bit of a naughty treat. But for me, I try to adapt my naughty treats in a way to be a healthier version. So I try to don't have much sugar or salt within my food, or even fat. So I try and replace as much fats as possible with like oil, just to make sure that it's a more healthier version than other versions would be. So for that, I also track what I eat. And people might say, "Oh my gosh, you track what you eat? You must be obsessed with calories and everything like that. That's an unhealthy mindset." It's not really, because you wouldn't go out. So, for example, getting back to finance, you wouldn't go, "Oh, I'm out. I've got loads. Where's my money gone?" If you don't track where you're going, you're not going to get anywhere, and you can't understand how to improve. And that's why I calorie count, is because I can be accountable of what I eat per day. But even now, I understand it's not just about calories; it's about looking at fats, macronutrients versus the micronutrients. Make sure I have a balanced diet. That's the thing. That's the best way of losing weight, is to make sure you track what you eat. Make sure you're within, I suppose, uh, micronutrients. And also, I allocate myself an hour and a half for exercise each day. I know that's a bit extreme, but I say this, I go for a walk for about an hour just to clutter my mind, and I also do about half an hour either aerobics or weights, just so I can, most days, so I can at least feel healthy in that aspect. So taking on that reflection, I've kind of moved that on towards other things. So I've used it towards my finances. So I make sure I do a budget per month, and review what I spend and how I can improve, and I take those notes on. But also having that budget, I can sort of reallocate money to where I want to. So, for example, over the past couple of years, I've realised I spent a lot more money than I expect on food. So I've kind of readjusted my food budget to a little bit more than what it is normally, but at the same time, I don't want, particularly lockdown, I don't want to feel like I'm suffering. So I kind of reallocate that to more money. I also make sure I put some more money towards having some fun. So, for example, spending event on virtual events, or um, looking at, I suppose, looking at how can do beauty products as well. So make sure that I spend that money or spend that allocation wisely. And I think for me, the whole living consciously thing is really great because it makes sure that you're not suffering, but at the same time, you're living in a way that is balanced and is going towards a goal. And I think with goal setting, particularly New Year's, there's all this thing where it's about, oh, I've got to lose weight, I've got to give up this, this, and this, and have salads every day and not hardly anything. And that's not the point. It's the point is when you do goal setting, it makes sure that it's integrated with your life, but at the same time, it's in a sustainable way that you enjoy yourself. You only have one life, and it's important to enjoy what you do with your life. So actually being conscious of what you do in terms of making sure you have a plan, but at the same time, make sure you have that time to have fun. I'd also like to put that one last point is when you do live consciously, as for example, I suppose in my life as well, actually. So I monitor my goals and I make sure I do a weekly plan. Before lockdown, I was really strict in terms of what I did. So I made sure that, I want to own business, I want to do this, I want to do that. But actually, in the day, I got demotivated. I was like, nah, I can't do it. Since lockdown, I've made sure that I've allocated myself time where I'm solely working on my goals for about, say, 2 hours a day. I'd like have three things tasks I do per day that work towards my goal, but in like 1 hour to 2 hour blocks. But in the evenings, I make sure I have time off, A, for reflection, and B, to make sure that I have time to enjoy myself. So whether that's reading a book, watching TV, reading some news, it's something to enjoy. And that's the thing, I think living consciously brings that sense of joy in living, particularly in this time. And it's great to sort of have that on board. So for me, my three tips for setting a conscious, I suppose, conscious life is one, plan what you want in your goal or your life, but make sure you allocate something that you enjoy so you have something that you can look forward to during the days and during the weeks. Number two is don't be so hard on yourself. If you don't manage to, if you go over something or isn't working, look to change it. That's the point of being living consciously, having a plan. But if something doesn't work one week, change it out to work it for something else. Number three is make sure that you, I suppose, with living consciously, it's all about dividing up your time and also dividing up resources to make sure that it works well. So make sure you plan your resources well and then just have fun. So it's a short video today, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Ciao for now.